Number 6 ranked Marina Rodriguez facing off against the Karate Hottie. Number 9 ranked Michelle Waterson, man. Listen, let me ask you this, AJ. After Michelle Waterson's previous 3 outings, right? She fought Angela Hill, Carla Esparza, and Joanna Jędrzejczyk, man. That's just about as tough as it gets in the strawweight division, man. You can't sit here and say, oh, she lost a couple. Yeah, she lost against damn near the best of the best. 2 former champions and someone who is a real deal contender in Angela Hill. Now, when we look at Marina Rodriguez, we see Amanda Ribas as a win, knockout round 1, losing to Carla Esparza as well, and then Cynthia Calvillo. So then you could sit there and argue this is damn near just as tough. This Calvillo, Joanna Jędrzejczyk, not the same, but they had really, really tough outings in the last 3, which has led to the culmination of them being ready to take each other on. You cannot sleep on the Karate Hottie Michelle Waterson, man. You can't. She's too experienced, too much of a veteran. Who has the advantage here in this fight, man? Both of these are legit strikers, man. You got, karate style, MMA style in Waterson versus a Muay Thai kickboxing style in Rodriguez. The one caveat is that if Michelle Waterson wants to take this fight to the ground, she will, and that's been a big part of her game plan in all 3 of her last fights. So just what do you think? Who has an edge here overall as an MMA fighter?
I think the edge here overall goes to Waterson, especially experience-wise, ground game-wise, and striking like technique. I think she has the overall advantage. But Marina Rodriguez hits harder. Marina Rodriguez can actually get that KO win, where Waterson's, like you said, a little more karate style. She's going to outpoint you. And that's where I think the biggest advantage one way goes to Rodriguez. But overall, man, I'd give it to Waterson. What do you think?
You know, I have to say the same exact thing. I think Michelle Waterson definitely has an advantage here. She's seen so much action in that cage. Her last 3 fights, man, have been very, very... those have been learning lessons, man. She got pieced up against Joanna Jędrzejczyk. She lost all 5 of those rounds, in my opinion. Now, the Angela Hill fight, very, very close. It literally went down to the wire, man. I had it 2-2 going into the 4th round after watching this fight multiple times, right? 2-2 going into the 5th round. 5th round, with 1 minute left in the fight, they were tied in significant strikes, 18-18. And then I think that Michelle, listen, you can't be mad about who won that fight. One of y'all had to have done more to really solidify it. You can't be mad that the judges gave it to one person as opposed to the other in a split. But nonetheless, man, let's point this out. Michelle Waterson, she is listed as an orthodox fighter, but that's not really the case. She's really a switch fighter, right? Because when she goes to southpaw, you know that lead leg is about to do some work, man. So one of the things that I noticed with Michelle Waterson is that she has a couple of strikes that she likes to use the most, right? She has a front kick. She has her little, it's like that karate side kick to the body and to the head, right? And she has these strikes out of the clinch, big elbows out of the clinch, right? She sometimes, I don't remember what it's called, but the thing that the Thai fighters, they wear around their head, the thing Yuri Prohashko is trying to imitate, right? She wears that. She's not a Muay Thai fighter, but she is Thai. She's literally Thai fighter, right? From Thailand. She's not from Thailand, but ethnicity and shit. Yeah, listen, man. The point is that she has a little bit of all of that stuff, man. She's a true martial artist. She trains with Holly Holm all the time, sitting there at Jackson Wink Academy, man. I think Marina Rodriguez does have the power advantage. Yeah, there we go, right? Shout out to Albuquerque, but I think Rodriguez definitely has the advantage on the feet, man. But Michelle Waterson, once again, man, she could take this fight to the ground at any time she wants. And we've seen she was able to control Angela Hill for 3+ minutes, you know what I mean, when she did that, right? We saw that Marina Rodriguez has this tendency when she gets put on her back to not immediately try to get up, instead try to drop elbows on you, and that's just going to be her downfall, man. So we need to see an evolution of the game. It's very much like Kevin Holland being in that closed guard with Marvin Vettori around him or Derek Brunson. You need to open up the guard, put the feet on the hips, and try to escape. That's what you need. Now, will we get there? Will he get to the ground? I don't know, man. But I do know that Rodriguez, has a 59% takedown defense. And Michelle Waterson, she's... All right, AJ. Listen, this is something that I got to say very quickly, man. Marina Rodriguez, she stays in that mid-range right there, just like I was talking about Angela Hill. If you want to beat Michelle Waterson, what you need to do is you need to make her box with you. Take away the legs, right? Joanna Jędrzejczyk did a very, very good job of that when they fought, because her strategy was every time you try to throw something at me, I'm throwing 3 or 4 back and I'm right in your face. If you throw so much in that mid-range against Michelle Waterson, she kind of freezes up a little bit and she'll throw one thing back. She'll throw a big front kick up or something like that and just get pieced up. Joanna Jędrzejczyk literally put a masterclass on her. Is Marina Rodriguez Joanna Jędrzejczyk? No. Does Marina Rodriguez have a talented offensive repertoire? Yes. Can Michelle Waterson do the veteran thing and squeak out a win? Yes. Now I'm so conflicted in this fight, AJ. But one of the big advantages too is the clinch, right? Michelle Waterson likes the clinch, but Marina Rodriguez is 5'7" as opposed to the 5'3" stature of Michelle Waterson, which tells me that the taller fighter generally is favored in the clinch because they are taller. They can get the trips down a little bit easier, right? We're probably gonna see a repeat of the Loma Luke Boonmi Sam Hughes with that clinch, man. Just the just the ferocity in that clinch. Now, AJ. What does this fight mean in terms of where they go in the division? Because we already see both of them have opportunities of winning. There's very talented fighters, but if Michelle Waterson wins, I'm hearing inklings that she might get like a title shot or something. And I'm like, why? But like, why would you? You know what I mean? Marina Rodriguez, she skyrocketed up after Amanda Ribas. She doesn't deserve a title shot either. Where do they go with the big win on either side?
I just don't think there's enough weight in the water. I don't think there's enough ducks in the pond is what is kind of the problem they're running into with why they're going to get a title shot so early. And now I do think Michelle Waterson has a little more inclination as far as she has a bigger repertoire of getting to there. So she has a little more, bite to the claim of a title shot. Or Marina Rodriguez is just kind of riding the momentum. And we've seen a big thing with the UFC is somebody's riding the high, man. They're going to send them right to the top. We've seen it with Derek Lewis. He wasn't even ready, but still he got to fight DC. One thing real quick, though, I wanted to point out, I think with Michelle Waterson, you were saying she struggles in the boxing range, which for sure, because Marina Rodriguez, like I was saying, she has that power advantage. But Michelle Waterson has learned those elbows, those sneaky little elbows that you were talking about. I think that's her one defense in the boxing range, where if Rodriguez wants to do well, she doesn't need to piece her up bunches and bunches. Now, that being said, can that go down? Because like you said, is Marina Rodriguez that inside Joanna Jędrzejczyk fighter? It's going to be hard to see. Do you actually see Marina Rodriguez being able to get up off her back? That was one of the big things I had is once Michelle Waterson gets us to the ground, it's kind of over. We saw Ribas control her basically anytime she wanted to when she had her on the ground.
There's a very clear path to victory for Michelle Waterson if she decides to go that grappling range, but I do think she gets off of her back. You want to know why, AJ? Because every round starts up on the feet. So that's the same thing we saw with Ribas, man. She just wrote it out. Says, all right, round two. All right, I got it. That's what I noticed, right? So round one of that Ribas fight, she gets taken down. Nothing she could do. She starts round two and she says, okay, I need to sit down on these shots, dude. You know what I mean? I can't sit here and get taken. I need to take this person out, right? So I think Marina Rodriguez, if she corrects the mistake that she made against Ribas, which was just throwing blind right hands down the pipe time and time again. When she caught Ribas, you know what she did? She threw a 1-2 instead of just the 2. That's literally all she did, right? So I do think that the reach advantage, she has a 3-inch reach advantage, is going to play a big role in this fight, and I think that she can hurt Michelle Waterson, man. I haven't seen Michelle Waterson hurt very much, but I think that she has the capability of hurting Michelle Waterson, stumbling her, rocking her, because I'll tell you, Joanna Jędrzejczyk, we already know she's not a big knockout fighter or anything like that, but she landed a couple like kicks to the literally to the face of Waterson. Didn't even phase her. Waterson just smiles. It's like, yeah, okay. And that's the part though right here, which is why I'm not discounting Michelle Waterson. I'm not counting her out whatsoever. I would not be surprised if she dominates this fight. And the reason why is because she's a dog, dude. Like, she is really like about it. And it's just crazy to see because of, she's portrayed as so nice and all that stuff. No, she's a killer in the cage. Training out of Jackson Winks, man. My question to you, AJ, do you think she's picked up a little bit of that Claressa Shields boxing strategies out there in Jackson Wink? Because Claressa Shields is working out there, man. She's working with Holly Holm. Holly Holm and Michelle Waterson are super tight. I'm just saying, if she picked up a little bit of that boxing stuff and she showcases that, man, it might be a long night for Rodriguez. But at the end of the day, her best path to victory is using the Muay Thai, being mean. Every time she grab that clinch and drop elbows. That's Rodriguez's style, man. So let's just give our picks so we can give a fight of the night. Go for the fight of the night picks after this, man. Who are you going with and why? And let me just mention before you give your pick, because, folks, sorry, forgot. -200 favorite is Marina Rodriguez with a +175 comeback from Michelle Waterson, man. So the odds makers are liking the Brazilian, the 3-1-1 UFC Brazilian. Who are you picking, AJ?
So me personally, man, I'm giving the advantage to Waterson. And I think, like you said just before, man, she's mean. I don't know if you've ever seen girls in a powder puff football match, but they'll literally break each other's arms. And now these girls can go in there and actually do that. And I would say Waterson is probably one of the most happily mean people I've ever seen fight. Like even in the JJ fight, I was not gonna mispronounce that name again. In the JJ fight, she was getting beat up. She got hurt a couple times. She just gets up smiling, happy as can be. But she's a dog though. So I personally, I'm going Waterson with a grind out decision win. I think she's gonna outpoint Rodriguez, maintain distance, hurt her in the clinch, make Rodriguez not really want to be there, man. I think it's gonna be a really fun fight. Waterson by decision. Who you got and why?
So I'm going to just caveat this before I give my actual pick. Michelle Waterson can win this fight through the grappling as well. I just talked about how Cerrone can do that. Michelle Waterson can do it as well. In the third round of her fight against Joanna Jędrzejczyk, she very, very quickly finally got the takedown on Joanna, which was the game plan the entire time, right? She wants to take down these big strikers. But what did she do with that takedown? She didn't look to control. She jumped on the back and locked in her rear naked really quickly. Now, it was over the chin, and that was Joanna's saving grace right there. But I'll tell you what, man, if she could clamp that down on Rodriguez, she's literally going to be like, I'm going to do what Amanda Hebos failed to do, which was instead of sitting there and controlling, just pass the guard, do whatever you can, and just choke him out and get him out of there, right? I think that's going to be the game plan for Waterson, completely submission-oriented, because we know you don't want to strike with the striker. That's never the game plan, right? Which is, once again, Neil Magny, Jeff Neal. That's why I think it's going to be a grappling contest, man. You don't strike with the striker. It's just not what you do. If you're smart, anyways, right? Last thing, Marina Rodriguez, she started MMA at 28 years old. She was a graphic designer who wanted to, she was a little tired of her sedentary lifestyle, so she picked up MMA and just became a fucking savage. So I'm picking Marina Rodriguez. I'm picking a 5-round decision victory over Michelle Waterson. Is it a risky pick? Absolutely. Do I think it's going to happen? Yes, and the reason why is I just think that if she could use her jab, which she doesn't very much, her teep is her jab because she's a Muay Thai fighter, and Muay Thai fighters don't really use jabs, right? If she can keep that teep and she can keep Michelle Waterson in that mid-range, it's going to be a long night, because I'm telling you, Michelle Waterson struggles when you throw punches and bunches in the mid-range. So that's my pick. You got anything else before we do fight of the night?
Nah, that's it, my brother. I'm actually very excited for all of these fights for this card. It's kind of an up and down card, a real sleeper of one where we don't really have any big names or big favorites. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a fun match.